I was sitting alone on a sun-bleached wooden bench in Riverside Park, picking at the edges of my turkey and Swiss on wheat, brushing crumbs off my sweatshirt. The air smelled like fall, damp leaves, burnt coffee from the kiosk down the path, the faintest trace of the Hudson. Joggers passed in steady rhythms, their sneakers whispering against the pavement. Mothers with strollers chatted about preschools, their voices rising and falling like birdsong. A group of teenagers sat on the grass a few feet away, heads bent over their phones, eyes glued to glowing screens. It was my lunch break, and as usual, I was spending it alone. The other girls at LensCrafters had their routines, their group texts, their endless streams of gossip that I was never part of. I wasn't one of them, and I had stopped trying to be. Instead, I sat on the edge of their world, watching from a distance, pretending I didn't care. The first time I noticed him, he was already there, sitting at the far end of the bench, hands buried deep in the pockets of his navy Patagonia jacket. He was still, quiet, the kind of man who didn't need to make a sound to be noticed. I inched away, an old instinct, putting space between us the way I always did when strangers got too close. We sat like that for a while, both of us silent, both of us watching the world without being a part of it. I pulled apart the crust of my sandwich and tossed it toward a cluster of pigeons. They swarmed, pecking at the torn pieces, wings fluttering, feet scraping against the pavement. A particularly bold one strutted closer, watching me like it expected more. The man beside me chuckled, the sound unexpected, breaking the stillness between us. "Careful," he said. "They'll stage a coup if you keep feeding them." I hesitated, unsure whether to respond, my mouth forming words I didn't quite say. The pigeon lost interest and turned back toward the flock, its head bobbing with each step. "Most people like the hawks best," the man said, his voice easy, familiar. "But I like pigeons. They don't pretend to be something they're not." I surprised myself by answering, "Me too." He turned to look at me then, really look, and I felt it like a shift in the air, a change in temperature. His eyes were dark, deep, the kind of eyes that made you feel like he could see things you hadn't said yet.